This is CryptoTube. Welcome back to the channel. This is Masternode Monday, episode 23. Each week we go through the Masternode projects I am invested in and I'm using to mine BTC. So these essentially are my mining contracts for my long-term HODL portfolio. This is just one of the many ways I generate yield in cryptocurrency, and I found this to be a useful strategy. Clearly the Masternode sector has taken a downturn in recent weeks, months and years, but there are still some shining lights within this sector, and these are pretty much the ones that I have my funds in. So I keep it pretty simple, take the profits from these masternodes, convert to BTC, and put them on a hardware device. So here we have the overview on Masternodes Online, and these are the cryptos I specifically look at on a regular basis. We have Dash, the market leader, with a market cap of over $1.2 billion, and this is a good health check for the overall Masternode space. When Dash is doing particularly well, the rest of the coins typically do follow. It has had a bit of a transitionary period, some issues regarding the privacy features and stuff and being delisted. Hasn't quite fully recovered as of yet, but it should be a mover with the greater crypto cycle. We then have Horizon in second position down here, $372 million in market cap. It's listed on Grayscale and has a lot of institutional investors. Then we have Divi. It's had a bit of a comeback over the last week or so, market cap just under 100 million, around 90 at this point in time, but has a lot of potential to grow. We've then got Syscoin, and this is building a DEX along with Nix down here. They have a $70 million market cap and Nix an $8 million market cap. Then we have StakeCube, and this has grown quite a lot since the V3 rollout from the beginning of February. The price has gone up twofold, and we are now at $7.25 million. Then we have Midas. This has been growing and now sits at around $4.8 million. And then Flits awaiting its update from the Google and Apple app stores. And then they will release their latest app. And I think this will fly up. So starting with Midas here. And they had their stream during this past week where Trevor went over some key topics. Pretty interesting. We'll highlight those in just a second. But we've also seen this as well, an announcement that they've added $5 of BTC interest to anyone who has $1,000 on their Midas account. So for example, I've got BTC interest here, getting 16% ROI on the Bitcoin, and they airdropped 13,000 Satoshis. So that's a nice little perk for being involved and having over $1,000 on the website. In terms of the instant buy feature where you can just buy your coins at set prices in bulk, they've had a pretty good week as well, over 1 Bitcoin in total volume on there. Hopping back into the platform here, if we just go over to the burnout, and this has been a nice trickle of BTC rewards for a while now. So this week I've accrued an additional 1 Midas, so this will be over 6,500 sats right now. Send those back to the platform, and then I will sell those on the exchange and stack some more Satoshis through that. But people are still using this burnout feature, and they will have a V2 of this coming out very soon. So here is the exchange, pretty self-explanatory, easy to use, and the Midas coins will find their way back over to here as the rewards mechanism from the shared masternodes actually filters directly into the exchange. So even if you're sat in a masternode and receiving those rewards, you can still put sell orders on the exchange, which is a pretty awesome feature. So from the live stream that they had last week, just over here 3 days ago, if you go and check that out, they had some really cool updates. Trevor was very transparent with us all, letting us know what their thoughts and feelings are going into this new year, and some of the ways they're going to try and increase our revenue as users. And essentially the main thesis of this is that the yield generating indexes are the ways to go, as oftentimes you are not going to outpace an index. This has been seen before. Warren Buffett famously talked about this, but if you can get into a solid index and accumulate rewards on a steady basis, you will outperform the market. So this is kind of their strategy for this new year to ensure we all make gains and do not lose. They're specifically targeting to try and get 15,000 members on the site now. They've hired some marketing professionals. I think they've got 2 new marketers on board. So I'm expecting a big push in terms of that and in terms of getting the Midas new ethos out there for passive income strategies, rather than moving away a little bit from the Masternode space and being all about passive income and how you can generate yield in crypto. I think that's a cool way to look at things, and you don't really want to limit yourself to just one market sector. They're going to be trying to onboard over $100 million of crypto assets during this bull run, and they've targeted a $20 million market cap for the Midas coin specifically. So currently the market cap around $5 million, so this would be a 4x on the current price. I think this is attainable, and if you are holding a masternode of this, this would mean that your current masternode at a price of around $6,500 would grow to around $26,000. A very nice growth rate there. And then you could 4x some of these rewards. You can see that passive income through masternodes is a good way to go. Maybe at this point in time, if I was starting out afresh, I wouldn't be putting my funds into nodes, but I've been running these for a long while now, and I'm happy to take the rewards and convert to BTC as part of a strategy. But having a regular source of BTC funds is definitely something I would advocate for in any portfolio. Over onto StakeCube now, and if you go onto CoinGecko, you can search via StakeCube exchange as they are listed on there and tracked. And clearly with the big price movements in Doge, this has propelled the amount of volume on StakeCube's exchange by orders of magnitude. So you can see the total volume by market pair is dominated by the Doge BTC here, second place to StakeCube coin and BTC. And you can see the volume by currency as well is stacked in the favor of BTC, as clearly that is the market pair people are choosing to convert with. And if we scroll down, you can see the trade volume over the last 30 days. So before Doge Mania, trading volume around 20, 30, maybe we've got the odd $40,000 worth of trade. And then Doge Mania kicked in, 614K's worth of trade on Friday the 29th of January. Incredible. And it's kind of continued in a very nice vein here, over 100K in trade from today alone as well. So hats off to the team there. This exchange clearly being a great revenue source for StakeCube right now. In terms of MineCube and being able to take on some Bitcoin mining contracts, the number of workers are now shown by the bot within the general chat. So you can keep tabs on this, and when they go live, you can get your hands on some. They've actually put in place a limit of 10 workers to be purchased per day per account. So that means that there's enough to go around whilst there's kind of a shortage. And there were some people just buying up hundreds and hundreds of workers. So this just makes it more fair and equitable across the user base. If you go to the changelog tab, you can see the recent updates. So they had a MineCube payment verification and processed for the 1st and 2nd of Feb. And then there was some differences in rounding up of those costs for the workers, and that was credited back to the affected users. There's been some UI improvements as well. On-site FAQ added to the MineCube section. And there's been some chart updates on MineCube as well, which we'll look at just now. So over on this MineCube section where you can buy your BTC mining contracts, you can get involved here. We went through this last week, so I won't dwell on this too much. But in terms of the earnings on this side now, we have this graph showing your rewards versus the number of workers you've purchased. And then this one I really like, spent versus earned. So you can actually see how profitable it's been for yourself. So I can see I've spent $76 on mining hash power via these workers, but I've earned back $21.45. So that means I've recovered 28.22% of my outlay. And this means that the return on investment is a lot quicker than you would expect. So you would think that BTC mining would take a long time. I think the ROI is established at like 1,000 days or something crazy. But once you factor in that BTC is going up in price, you're getting the return on your dollar amount a lot quicker than that. You can also see your activity from this window, the number of miners available, and the total hash rate of our SHA-256 mining right now, which is going up and up and up. And you can see that for other cryptos that we're currently mining as well. So nice and transparent on here. We've also got a FAQ section that's been added for any questions for newbies or anyone who's interested. But they've put together a very nice look here for this V3 update on MineCube. Briefly on the exchange, they're working on some bugs and fixes that I think the beta testers have found. And so this means that the StakeCube exchange V3 update is not yet live in terms of the front end, so we haven't got all the new user interface and stuff, but that will be coming soon once those fixes are made. Just going to quickly sell my Doge off because I do think it will be correcting at some point. On the Masternode online page for StakeCube, clearly we've had a nice uptick in price action here, specifically on USD terms. The Masternode ROI currently 23%, so it is lucrative. It's a good rate of return, especially as the price has been going up. So this is a good indicator. You want your ROI to be stable, and you also want the price to be going up to ensure that you're not only getting this ROI, but you're also getting capital appreciation as well. And if we just chart against BTC here, we can see that it has started to go up again. So we bottomed out during mid-January, and now we are on an uptick once more, obviously dependent on what BTC does next. Over onto Flits now, and just going through their Twitter page here. Clearly we're waiting for the update for the application. Once that happens, I will update you all. Looking forward to that, and I think that will be a price catalyst for this. But they've also had some cool partnership news as well with NEM. So NEM's released the DAO Maker, which is, I believe, a governance token that they've got, and this is now listed on the Flits app. And they are now on their website as well as a trusted wallet provider. So this has been a cool update, as NEM is actually the number 21 crypto by market cap. So getting in bed with the big boys here. And so it says, we're thrilled to announce that they list DAO Maker on the Flits application. This is the governance token of the DAO Maker ecosystem, which is built on ETH. So it allows holders to participate in governance structures, and it aims to create a decentralized ecosystem, enabling go-to-platform for retail venture investing in equity and tokens. And with this announcement, there's just some good crossover here for the Flits app, and it's being recognized on an industry level as a trusted source, a trusted place to host your cryptos, whether they're staking or masternodes. So that's pretty impressive stuff. In terms of their overview for this last week then, an additional 700 users now. BTC total value has dropped a bit. The number of masternodes deployed is up by 411, and they've got 112 coins listed now. In terms of the price, Satoshi-wise, around 3,000 sats right now. The monthly income from one masternode is roughly $85, just under 200,000 Satoshis at this point in time, with an ROI of 77%. This is one I've got high hopes for, as it's going to be integrating some DeFi applications in the same way as you could do with your Trust wallet, and integrating that way, and having it Web3 compatible. Over to Divi now. Busy with the beta bashes, everyone getting involved with access on the app and trying to make sure the wallet's working all well and good. There's some things to test out for the early adopters here, bug fixes and things. The Mochi that was having a few glitches with the UI and stuff, and so they're asking people to test them out. So this is something I'm actively doing right now, which is cool. In terms of onboarding new users, they said that they're adding 100 testers a week now until the launch, and you can actually get involved and get access if you're alive and kicking on social media here. In terms of the blog posts, they haven't got one up this week for us to go through, but things are pedal to the metal in terms of getting the wallet release out now. And we've seen some positive price action as well, now at around 100 Satoshis again, market cap around $100 million. And as you can see, it did sell off quite substantially, but we're starting to see a recovery in price. And I do see that this one will have a great value once more, once the wallet is fully released and we get all the announcements of the institutional partnerships they've got going on in the background. And there's just a lot going on. So as soon as there's more updates, I will provide them. But this week, a little bit quiet on the ground as things are going on hot and heavy in the background for Divi. So let me know how you are approaching the Masternode market. Are you invested in these staking coins? Are you running masternodes? What do you do with your rewards? I'd love to hear from you down below. And if you're new here, is this something you would like to get involved with? Post a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But that is all from this week's edition, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.